Forget science fiction. The age of giant robots is here, and China is leading the charge. From towering military mechs to robotic giants shaping skylines, China has quietly developed some of the most powerful large-scale robots in the world. Backed by billion-dollar state initiatives, high-tech research hubs, and military ambitions, this is no longer a future fantasy. This is China's reality. Stay tuned as we expose the real truth behind China's robotic titans, what they are, what they do, and what it means for the future of warfare, construction, and global dominance. Alright, so you know how everyone's talking about AI, right? Well, China's not just talking. They're putting their money where their mouth is, and we're not talking about a couple million, we're talking trillions, with a T. Back in 2015, they dropped this thing called Made in China 2025. Think of it like their master plan to dominate the tech world, and robots? Yeah, they're a huge part of it. We're talking about over $1.4 trillion poured into AI and robotics. They're building entire cities dedicated to robots, partnering up with these huge state-owned defense companies like Norinco, Mechs, Shanxi Baoji, you name it. These guys are basically building the future of warfare, and it's all automated. And it's not just about fighting wars, although that's definitely a big part of it. They're talking about automating everything. Disaster response, building infrastructure, even logistics. They see automation as the key to becoming a global superpower, and honestly, they might be onto something. Okay, let's talk about the stuff you've been waiting for. Giant robots built for war. China's not exactly shouting about it from the rooftops, but they're definitely not being quiet about it either. Remember Norinco, the defense giant I mentioned earlier? A couple of years back, they dropped this concept for a humanoid robot, like straight out of anime. Now, this thing wasn't carrying nukes or anything, it was more of a proof of concept. But it showed everyone that China's serious about building combat-ready mechs. And it's not just walking robots, they've got these unmanned ground vehicles, basically mini-tanks patrolling borders and providing support. They've got robots hauling ammo through mountains, robotic exoskeletons that let soldiers carry like 100 pounds without breaking a sweat. They're testing this stuff in the Himalayas, in the desert, everywhere. China's basically turning their entire military into an AI-powered force, and that's a big deal. But it's not all about war, alright? China's also using these giant robots to build their nation, literally. Head over to Shenzhen or Shanghai and you'll see these massive robotic construction sites. We're talking cranes stacking building segments like Legos, all controlled by AI. Companies like Xingyi Heavy Industries, they're leading the charge. They've got these robotic crane systems that can build skyscrapers faster and safer than ever before. And then there's Zoomlion. They're making AI-powered cement robots that are replacing like 40% of the human workforce. And get this, they've got these tunnel bots, these massive wheeled robots that just burrow through mountains, no human input needed. It's insane. The result? China's building infrastructure at a pace the world has never seen before. Chapter 4. Now, China's no stranger to natural disasters, but here's where things get really interesting. They're using these giant robots for disaster relief, and they're saving lives. After the Sichuan earthquake, they sent in these tracked robots to search for survivors in the rubble. These things were equipped with infrared scanners, AI that could analyze the terrain, and these massive hydraulic arms that could lift concrete slabs like they were nothing. And they're getting even more advanced. The China National Robotics Development Program, they're working on bots that can carry stretchers, oxygen tanks, the whole 9 yards. They're basically creating the future of disaster response, and it's pretty incredible to see. Chapter 5. But it's not just about war, construction, or even disaster relief. China's taking these giant robots everywhere, even into the fields and beyond. We're talking about agricultural robots the size of trucks, plowing, planting, harvesting, you name it. One farmer can control an entire fleet of these things from their smartphone thanks to GPS and AI. And if you think that's wild, get this. They're putting robots on the moon. Their Changi lunar landers already use robotic arms to collect samples, and they're planning to build entire robotic lunar stations by 2030. China's not just using robots, they're making them a part of their national identity. Chapter 6. So here's the thing. While the rest of the world is still debating the ethics of AI and robots, China's out there building the future. Military analysts, they're saying that China's caught up to the US in robotic warfare, and in some areas, they're even ahead. And it's not just the military. Their robotics industry is growing at like 20% every year. They're going to be exporting these robots everywhere. And that's a game changer. Think about it. Countries could be buying Chinese military robots, Chinese construction robots, even disaster relief robots. China's not just playing the economic game, they're rewriting the rules. Outro. China's giant robots are no longer ideas. They're iron and algorithms in motion. As the world watches in awe, China marches forward, mechanized, intelligent, and unstoppable. Subscribe for more truth-based insights into global tech revolutions. The robot future is here. Will your country be ready?